What's up, YouTube? It's a different perspective, and I am back with another video. Today's video, I specifically wanted to talk about being misunderstood by a corrupt world. Um, it's not the world's job to understand you, and that was one of the lessons that that took me a little while to learn in my life was oh, I want to be understood. I want to be understood. And it's not the world's job to understand you. You got to learn to, just do the best you can with the circumstances you've had. And also remember that people make mistakes, especially when you're younger. I'd say in your 20s, your teenagers, those are when you are more susceptible to making a lot of mistakes. And when you do make those mistakes, because some mistakes are unavoidable, but some mistakes are avoidable. You know what I mean? Like, getting jail time or doing something super criminal or taking someone's life, that's super avoidable, and, you just stay away from people and try your best. Hopefully, you're not one of those knuckleheads growing up, because if you are, man, life is going to be hard. But if you're one of those kids that just kind of don't know their way yet, which is most kids, teenagers in their 20s, don't know their way, which way they're going to choose, then I think you could make it. I think you could make it for sure. Like, just don't take life super seriously, but at the same time, take life seriously, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to take it seriously to the point where you're not having any fun and all you're thinking about is the bills, but you also don't want to not take it seriously to the point where you end up in jail and a whole bunch of consequences. But what you do when you're younger, you pay for it later on when you get older. If you're still around, if you're still alive and not in jail and doing well, you pay for it when you get older. So be mindful of that. To whoever that I'm speaking to that's younger, be mindful that the consequences you make when you're younger, you'll pay for it eventually when you're older. And also and I'm sure my older audience can definitely agree that there's some mistakes that you're going to make because you just don't know. The lack of knowledge, you know what I mean. You don't know, so you're going to make mistakes. Me myself, when I was younger, I tried my best to avoid a lot of mistakes. I ended up avoiding a lot, but there was some mistakes that I still made, because you're, at the end of the day, you're a human being. You're not perfect, and you can and will make mistakes. You know what I mean? And like I said before, the world does not owe you understanding. So the world is not going to understand everything that's going on in your mind and why you did what you did and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So keep that in mind as well, and just do your best to try to navigate the world and get things done so you can have a happy, peaceable life. I know nowadays in today's economy, things are rough, especially for the younger generation. Things are really rough, and it's getting worse and worse and worse by the day. What you can do with that situation is keep a positive mindset, keep pushing forward, make as minimal mistakes as possible, and try your best to keep working on something, staying busy. Try to work on something. When it's time to rest, when it's time to decompress and wind down, go ahead, take that time for yourself. But other than that, try to work on something to improve every day. Every single day, just try to work on something. And also obviously have a job or something laid by so you can have some sort of income coming in, and you could avoid making even more mistakes, because the lack of income forces people to do a lot of silly things, make a lot of criminal decisions that wouldn't be made if they had a home and had money already. They wouldn't be worried about robbing and doing all this crazy stuff. But that's part of life. You got to be able to roll with the punches and adapt. So I'd say, have some type of income coming in, even if it's a minimum wage job. That's good to get you started. You're not going to be at that same position, that same job forever. So do what you can. If you got to go to college, which I don't recommend unless you know exactly what you're going to do, and you're going to be able to afford those payments. If you choose to do that, make sure you're on point with that. Get it done and get yourself a good job. If you choose to just grind it out in the field, that's possible as well. There's money out here for that as well. So yeah, I just wanted to speak about that real quick. To motivate my young people, and to give some lessons to my older folks that don't know this stuff already, which most of you guys probably do, I'm assuming. But the ones that don't know, this video could be helpful for some things, for you guys as well. Don't forget to comment, like, share, comment, subscribe. I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit to my younger audience and to my younger folks and to the older folks as well. Give some stuff that they might not already know. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. And I thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next one.